when we're saying a dream. There are different aspects of your mind and the existence, which we refer to as dream. You have of course heard of the famous speech, "Yes, I have a dream." But now we're talking about dreams that you don't dream, but they happen to you. You do not arrive at it because of the nature of life that you're experiencing, but seem to happen to you from somewhere. These dreams can be categorized into 4 categories. These 4 can be further categorized into many, many more, but we will look at the 4. 90%, I would say, or more. 90% of the dreams are just a release. When I say a release, most human minds are made like this. They cannot help it. Whatever they recognize as good, beautiful, attractive, valuable, they cannot help desiring it. So the multiple desires that the mind generates through the day, most of the desires are not even conscious. It's simply happening because the mind is in that mode. If something is good, I must have it. So when it's in that mode, it keeps on desiring many, many, many things. It's your fortune that all those desires don't come true. If they come true, you will be in such a great mess. So, the dream works for you. Now, being in the Hatha Yoga program right now, after having woken up early in the morning and doing 4 hours of whatever sadhana and the study and everything, in the afternoon, whether you would like to hit the sack or you would like a coffee or a tea, they will give you kollu soup. Now famous, kollu soup. So now, your mind thinks, "Oh, I wish I had some coffee to drink or tea to drink, something." Tonight, you see yourself in your dream. You're drinking a barrel of coffee. Or maybe you went to the ocean and Indian Ocean has become all coffee. I'm just saying a ridiculous example, but I'm saying dreams are an exaggeration of all the things that you desire. Or in other words, it's a release. In your dream you're fulfilled, drinking your coffee. Next day you can handle the day. Next day you can handle the kollu soup little more gracefully. Yes. If this release doesn't happen in your dream, now this can become a great frustration. This can become such a big compulsion within you. So dream is working for you in that sense. Releasing these desires in the night when you're fast asleep, because the body is at rest. There's a whole lot of energy available for the activity of the mind. Mind is using this time and energy to work itself out. 90% of the dreams fall under this category. There is nothing to do about this, nothing to remember, no need to remember, let it go. But if you're having a lot of dreams on a daily basis, now you must look at the day. You must become more conscious. The more conscious you become during your day, you will see the less dreaming will happen in the night. More unconsciously you aspire for everything around you, the more dreaming will happen. This distinctly in your experience. You just meditate strongly enough through the day, you will see that night when you sleep. It's not that there's no dreaming at all, there is, but it is considerably less. Another manifestation of the dream is, there is something called as prarabdha. Prarabdha means now, there is a vast accumulation of memory in the system. This is something that we refer to as the karmic structure or the karmic body. Karmic body is just memory body. A huge memory is there. If all that memory comes into play now in your life, your mind will break, for sure. It's too much memory for anybody to handle. This happened to me 30 years ago. Suddenly, I had a huge experience, and the next thing is memory that I cannot handle. Lifetimes of memory just rushing through my mind, almost like my mind is going to break. Because there was an immense experience, you can handle it. Otherwise, your mind will break when such memory falls upon your mental structure. It cannot handle the latent memory becoming an active process. So, nature has devised a way, or your own system has evolved a way of taking up one part of the memory as the allotted memory to be dealt with right now. This is called as prarabdha. It's a very common word that it was a normal conversation during our grandmother times. These days, it's all going away. But even now, in the villages, I think it's very much there. If something is not happening the way they thought it should happen, they say, ayo, prarabdha. That means it's already allotted memory, it's coming, it's playing. It's not happening here, it's happening here. But that is also ascribed to what is imprinted within you is playing out in front of you. So that is the second type of dream, it is playing out. It is playing out in your day-to-day behavior, in your thought, in your emotion, the way your body feels. If you observe carefully, you will see every day when you wake up in the morning, if you observe very carefully, not just the muscular structure of your body, if you observe carefully how your body feels, you will see every day it will be different. Because prarabdha plays in a certain way, creating everything that happens, every memory release that happens on the mental structure will naturally create a certain sensation or a sensory pattern in the physiological structure. So depending upon what type of prarabdha on that day, your body begins to feel in a certain way. If people who are conscious, if you observe the way your body feels, today you know what's coming. Many of you might have noticed on certain days when something acute happened, somehow in the morning itself you're feeling funny and you went and crashed somewhere. Many people, they need not be enlightened or super conscious about what's happening within themselves, but many so-called ordinary people might have felt this when something acute is coming that day. Already when they woke up in the morning, they were feeling funny, and because they do not know how to decipher, they walked into it. Those who know how to decipher, on that day, they will step back. They know today is not a good day. So, not a good day, not because there's something wrong with the day. It's not going to work out for you because your whole pattern is happening in a certain way. Because the memory influences the way your energy functions, your body functions, your mind functions, and what happens around you. So this is prarabdha, finding expression, and the same is happening in the night in the form of a dream. They may have all kinds of strange things mixed up. In these kind of dreams, you will have somebody who's around you and somebody else whom you do not know. A situation that you know and a situation that you do not know, all overlapping, mixed up. Many people would have noticed such dreams. You're in your home, but some strange character is actually in your house. Or you're in some strange place, but your whole family is there. So what is known to you and what is unknown to you, what you consciously remember and what you do not consciously remember, all of them are entwined in this dream. This is a release of prarabdha. This could have some meaning. In the sense, if you don't have to observe the images of the dream, you have to observe the residue of the dream. Depending upon how the dream has worked out, is it just working out of your latent desires, or is some other memory playing a role in making this happen? You don't go about looking at the imagery. Imagery is not important. but the residue it leaves on the body. When you wake up in the morning, how do you feel? If you… see, this is the reason why those who closely watching their life avoid all intoxicants and stimulants. If you're pumping in intoxicants and stimulants, you cannot notice anything. Every day early morning feels like hell anyway. They have to work themselves out of it. So once you play with the nervous system, all this is jumbled up, this is not even relevant for such people. Once there are intoxicants and stimulants, it just won't work because your nervous system starts saying something else, which is of a completely different nature. The prarabdha, the second type of dream that we talked about, could indicate many things if one is able to watch it. Especially if something is concerned with your health or the possibility of destruction or damage to your body, prarabdha is a good place to watch. I never ever talk about dreams because there are a whole bunch of people who will go crazy imagining all kinds of things on a daily basis. I saw this in my dream, so this is going to happen today, tomorrow that's going to happen. Their imagination will run wild. Dreams will not happen in the night, throughout the day it'll start happening. So the third layer of dream is if you touch certain states of experience in your life. We could actually do a survey on this. Many of you might have found after you went through a powerful experience, let's say you were initiated into Shambhavi, or you went through a Bhava Spandana, or you went through a Samyama program, or you went through some other initiation process, the dream patterns seem to have changed after that. The type of dreams that you're getting has changed, the volume of dreams would have changed, it would have become more or less or something else. Some change would have happened after a powerful experience. What is the meaning of a powerful experience? A powerful experience means somehow you cross some kind of threshold within you. There are layers and layers of boundaries that one has set up within himself. On a particular day you broke through one, or you crossed one layer of something, so the pattern of dream could change. So what was not in play, that memory bank which was not in play, has begun to come into play, new release. I don't know if you understand. In India, every Friday they say new release, that means a new cinema is coming. So this is a new release. These kind of worms were never there, suddenly new release. Because a powerful experience happened and broke through a certain barrier of memory. These barriers are your protection, because if all of it opens up at once, no mind can handle it, it'll just break. So this is called… this storehouse of memory or storehouse of karmic substance is called sanchita. This means this is a warehouse of memory. If all of it comes, nobody will be able to handle. So, something from that entered your life. That means this life has become a larger scope than what it was before. Your life was playing out to a certain volume of memory. Now if you break through with a big experience, it has become a larger scope. Larger scope means if you handle it efficiently, larger scope is a great thing. If you handle it inefficiently, larger scope is a lot of trouble. In fact, that is all human beings are struggling with, that human life has a larger scope than other creatures. That is the problem, isn't it? If you were like any other creature, you could eat and sleep and be fine. Because it has a larger scope, that is the trouble that they're suffering. So, when a larger scope opens up, then if you handle it right, it'll be very wonderful. If you don't, it'll be painful. But even if it's painful, in the ultimate scheme of things, it's still good for you. You don't like that. Now, Hatha Yoga is painful, isn't it? Yoga is painful, come on, let's admit it. It is painful, but we still do it because in the larger scheme of things, it's good for us. In some way we understand that, that's why we're doing it, isn't it? So, opening up of new areas of memory within you can be very painful. Because now you're putting your life on a fast forward. what should have been handled probably in a next edition, you trying to handle it in this edition because you're in a little bit of a rush. You don't want to have one more edition. You want to say everything you want to say in this edition. Now it becomes more complex, isn't it? But if you handle it right, it is very good. Otherwise, it suddenly feels like after entering the spiritual path, everything in the whole universe seems to be kicking you up from every direction. Because that's how it is. Because you opened up another dimension which you are not handling.